Hey friends, thanks for tuning in. This is a podcast where I speak on feelings, sex, friendship, and whatever else makes you uncomfortable. Join me on my journey as I give you something worth listening to.
You know what? I think I would love to hear you speak about how, I don't know, in a way, I guess, because it is hard to find motivation to do things or to go after something that you want to do. And seeing that you do that consistently every week, every Tuesday, you keep pursuing your dream. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think a lot of people can benefit from you explaining how you decided to go with that dream, how to stay motivated to keep pursuing something even when you don't feel like it, type of shit. Because a lot of us are just watching other people do their thing, you know? This bitch is selling candles, you're doing your podcast, someone else is making fucking rolling trays, you know, and everyone seems to be doing something. And, you know, me and the few other people out there who are just like la-di-da would love to know how you guys get the fucking balls and cojones to do so. And I think you should make a podcast on it.
So this was a question that came from one of the most creative and intellectual people that I know. First off, your wish is my command. I will talk about it because that is a very good fucking topic. Secondly, finding motivation and keeping that motivation is fucking hard. Those two things are jobs individually. One thing that helps me to keep coming back every week is knowing where I want to end up in about 5 years, you know? Not to sound corny or cliche or have a 5-year plan, but you should really at least try and see yourself in the scenario you want to be in 5 years from now. Thank you for noticing that I come back week after week. I appreciate it. And thank you guys for coming back week after week. I fucking double appreciate it. But on a serious note, I think that motivation and passion come hand in hand. Let me explain what I mean. What motivates me to come back and do this is because I have a passion for it. Throughout the day, I could be busy, right? Every little thing that I am experiencing, every little thing that I feel, every little thing that just pops up, in the back of my mind, I store it as content. Things that happen in my life, I store it as content. And now I'm up to a point where it's not something that I do intentionally, it's something that just happens because 24/7, if it's not in the front of my mind, it's in the back of my mind. It meaning the podcast. About 4 days before I dropped my first episode, right? I was speaking to my friend, the one you heard in the beginning, hey Sally, and my professor. I was hella fucking nervous about dropping my first episode and my opinions because I'm like, who the fuck is gonna wanna listen to it, you know? And I think I said this before and I keep saying it. Who's gonna care about what little me has to say about whatever the situation is? And they both told me, look, of course there's gonna be people who don't like it. Of course there's gonna be people who's not gonna fuck with it. That doesn't mean that you can't keep putting it out. And once you put it out, don't stop putting it out. Don't look back. Just keep it going for as long as you can. Just be consistent. Consistency is key. People will pick up, people will notice, and people will, you know, they like it or they won't. So honestly, as the weeks went by and the more episodes I dropped, I've already mentally prepared myself in case people don't like it. Now, I'm not sure if that's a negative aspect to look at things or like a reality aspect to look at things. Not everyone is going to like it. It's not going to be for everyone. Not everyone is going to keep up. Not everyone is going to listen as much as you want them to listen to, if that makes any sense. Like if I drop my episode at 12, which I announce every Tuesday, no one or everyone is not gonna listen to it at 12. People will listen to it on their own time, as do I listen to episodes on my own time. You know what I mean? Well, of other shows. So for me, mentally preparing myself for the outcome of not everyone is gonna like it, and just hold on to the people that do. No matter fucking how much people post shit or advertisements go out in the mail or on the TV or on the radio or whatever the situation is, even now, the quickest way things spread is through word of mouth. When I dropped my first episode, it was cheating ass bitch, to be exact. The fucking feedback I got from that was like beyond me. I was ecstatic, of course, because hello, first episode and I'm already fucking making numbers. Like, who wouldn't be hype, you know? But the problem didn't start, or not the problem. The real challenge was, okay, the next episode has to be better than that one. You have to make it more, more relatable to a little bit of everyone. There is 40-year-old man who listens. There is a 24-year-old female who listens. There's a 16-year-old girl who listens. And there's a 23-year-old male who listens. I need to be able to put out content that resonates with every single one of those people, because you don't want your audience to fall off, you know? And not just audiences. Anything you do that requires chasing your dream, you want to take and evolve. One thing I will say, sidebar, you should not be afraid to fail. You should not be afraid to fall. Because when you fall, you get back up 10 times harder. If you've learned the lesson the right way when you fell, you come back 10 times harder than before. And now you know what to do. And this goes with anything that you want to do in life. Anything. Not just podcasting, not just YouTubing, even music. Keep dropping those fucking EPs, drop those albums, drop those singles, make those videos. You want to do clothes, keep designing those clothes, photography, keep taking those pictures. Somebody. All you need is one person. That one person to fucking spread. That one person to tell 2 people. Those 2 people to tell 4 people. Those 4 people are going to tell, you know what I mean? Everything. Just double up, double up, double up. If people feel like your shit is worth it, they will always come back. And as long as you feel that is something that you are proud of, honestly, good feedback is great. But how you feel about your craft is way more important. It's not to shit on the viewers. It's not to shit on the listeners. It's not to put down. Of course, because they're a big part of it too. Don't get me wrong. If a YouTuber doesn't get subscribers, how would the YouTuber be able to grow? You know, fans are everything. Fans make artists. All I'm saying is, and I don't want to say this in the wrong way, but you should prioritize the happiness you feel with your craft, then care about what people think about your craft. If that makes sense, I hope it made sense. Hope I didn't lose you guys either. I'm trying to make this serious. I feel like when you talk about your dreams and you talk about your plans, of course not everyone is going to see it. It's a vulnerable fucking thing. On to recording, editing, and posting, even when I don't feel like it. Tonight, for example, I'm on the way home fucking exhausted from work. I work an hour and 15 minutes away from where I live. Falling asleep while driving, dangerous as hell. Sleep is very important, but it's very tricky to it's very easy to get tripped up while driving too. I am exhausted, okay? But I know I have to come home, and I know I have to do this podcast. Again, I'm just going to bring it back to passion. You cannot bring yourself to do something if you do not have passion. I know it's repetitive. I just don't know how else to explain it. If you find something and you love doing it, find a way to make money doing it. I used to hear that and I'm like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. But it's true. I will not be a dental assistant forever. I'm going to find somebody who's going to fucking sponsor me and pay me to speak to you guys. I mean, I do it for free already and I love it. Don't get me wrong. But if I could fucking wipe my ass with $100 bills and the hundreds keep coming and coming and coming. But you know what I mean? Point is, if I could find someone to sponsor me, just one person, someone else is going to come along too. For the people watchers, I don't think there's anything wrong with people watching. Of course, you can watch from the sidelines, but don't compare. That would be my advice. Do not compare yourself to other people, especially if you guys are not on the same path, okay? I had a friend and she compares herself to her other friends. It's so easy to do that when you speak to these people every day, when you see what they have and when you see what you don't have. But if your friend wants to be a doctor and you want to become a YouTube sensation, do not feel like shit if you are on your 500th subscriber, right? And the other person just got into medical school. Don't do that. That is the worst thing to do. You guys aren't even in the fucking same paths, okay? Your journeys is like you're going to the left and your friend is going to the right. So you comparing that you only have 500 people watching you to someone who just got into medical school, don't get me wrong, that's a big deal. Both are big deals. But don't look at it as if you have nothing. If your friend has an apartment and you don't have an apartment, or you don't even have a job, because maybe right now you're not meant to have a job, okay? Who knows? Do not compare. You're supposed to take the people around you and look up to them in a way to where it's not damaging and raggeting on yourself. So be a people watcher. That's fine. Just don't compare. And make sure when it's time, when the tables are turned, you're able to handle your business. Put yourself out there for the things that you want to do in your life. Don't get me wrong. That shit is hard, okay? Putting yourself out there, it is hard. Letting people see your vulnerability, that's hard. Fucking anything that has to do with anything that you feel exposes your soul, anything you feel is literally putting you out there and making you feel naked, that's hard. You think I'm not fucking worried? Well, I used to be worried about what would people think? Would people think I was a whore? Would people think this? Would people think that? It's easier said than done not to give a fuck what people think. But honestly, sometimes you just have to. Or just start off by not paying attention to it, right? You said what you said. Slowly but surely, you'll find yourself coming out of the little shell you try to put yourself into, and you'll be fine. To answer the last part of my dear friend's question, how do I get the balls and the cojones to put it out there every week? Honestly, I just try not to think about it. I'm a very self-conscious person, right? I know sometimes it doesn't come across like that. I come across like the badass bitch that I am. But this badass bitch got some fucking self-esteem issues sometimes, okay? So what I do is I say what I want to say. I don't think about it because I am the fucking definition of an overthinker, and I just put it out there. The only time I listen back to my episode, to be honest, is after I'm editing to get the final take before I put it out for what you guys hear. I don't go back and I don't listen to them because then I start to be like, oh my God, what if so-and-so thinks this? And what if, they heard that? Or what if they think I'm this? And what if they think I'm that? Like, no, that is damaging to the soul. That's so damaging because you double think and then you start to wonder what everyone else thinks, And with wondering what everyone else thinks, I feel like there's a part of you, because it's happened to me before, there's a part of you who constantly ask and ask and ask and ask so you can hear good things, and it's kind of a validation or an approval that you were looking for and that you finally got, because of course the people around you are going to tell you, yeah, it was great, or I loved it, or you're doing such a wonderful job. I ask the people I know who will tell me the truth. And they have. There's a couple people who told me they didn't like when I do this. They don't like when I do that. They didn't like this episode because it didn't resonate with them. They didn't. And that is what I want. Tell me. Or it got boring, Kendra. Honestly. I noticed I was zoning out, And when I came back, you were still talking. That's how I know that I zoned out. Yeah. We all got that shit. I think to top this conversation off, fucking go for it, bro. Go for it. Then you'll know the only way you can find out what's meant for you and what's not meant for you is if you go for it. Just go for it. And cliche and corny and sappy as it sounds, you literally only miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. You just don't know where you're gonna be, And I can do this for the next 3 years. I can do this for the next 10 years. I can do this for the next fucking 20 years. You don't know. You don't know. My whole thing is keep that passion. Motivation is nothing without passion. Find something you are truly passionate about, because I promise it won't even feel like a job. I feel like if you find something you want to do, not doing it would be harder for you than actually doing it when you're not up for it, I hope it makes sense. But that was a good question, and I feel like it needed its own episode. So thank you, Sally, for asking, because just fucking thank you. And thanks, you think me chasing my dreams is beautiful. I hope I inspire the rest of y'all. Go after it. Fucking go after it. And don't look back. That's what my professor told me, and I'm telling you, it's the best thing I've ever done. Just don't look back, no matter how nervous you are. Updating you on my life, though. Not really life. I just want to explain myself. This episode was supposed to be the episode with my special guest, and he was supposed to come on here and tell you guys about how to be a bad guy one-on-one, because I don't like the N-word, so I won't say the N-word. He was supposed to teach you how to be a male bad bitch. But I didn't forget about you guys, I promise. My guest was not able to come on this week. It's unfortunate, life happens, shit happens. Y'all gonna get your episode quick, okay? Y'all gonna get it soon. Remember to follow my Instagram, SWLT by Ken. Subscribe on all platforms if you haven't already, and just share it. If you felt like this resided with you, great. That was the goal. And if you didn't, I'm sorry. Just chase your dreams, guys. Shit. I will talk to you guys next fucking Tuesday, okay? Oh, Merry Christmas. Wow, what a fake bitch. How did I almost forget that? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and I'll be talking to you guys next Tuesday.